Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, December 23rd. I am here again in my cozy office. I'm sitting in a different direction, giving you a little different look, but we still have my buddy Cole sleeping over on his favorite blanket. Anyway, I am checking in with you. It is actually 2:30 in the afternoon already, and this morning, as soon as I woke up, I didn't have a chance to edit episode 10 of Vlogmas, so that's what I did this morning for a couple hours before I went into town briefly for a nutrition response therapy appointment. So I did that, and then I came home, and now I had a little lunch, a little salad, and I'm kind of procrastinating. I really don't want to clean, but tomorrow, I mentioned before, my husband's parents are coming to stay with us for a couple days for Christmas, and this room has to be turned into a guest room, which means I have to tidy and clean it a little bit, do a little vacuuming, pull out the trundle bed and set it up. But it's not, I think it's one of those jobs that's going to take me like 20 or 30 minutes, but I'm making it out to be something that it's going to take a lot more. So I need to put on my big girl panties, and I need to do that. But I wanted to say hello to you first and share a few projects with you, and then also open up day 23 of the Very Fun Yarns Advent Countdown. We just have 3 more days left, so that's exciting. What I wanted to show you first was I mentioned that I was going to be casting on a pair of socks for my husband out of the Freckled Whimsy leftovers. And what I might not have said very clearly is that there is 21 stripes left, but there's 21 stripes left per sock. So this particular year, when the dyer did the 24 stripes, each sock has 2 24 stripe repeats in it. So that's kind of awesome. So I have 21 stripes. So I did a little math and tried to figure out how many stripes I needed, how many inches the stripe would give me for my husband's socks, because I want to do 4 more stitches for him, 64 stitches instead of 60 like myself. So I'm doing a little estimating, but I decided I did a little stash dive to find a contrast color that I thought would look good. And this is what I came up with. This is Knit, where did I put the label? It is a Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the Wonderland Heather color. So it's sort of like a pale blue green, kind of blue with green hues in the background. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make a super long cuff. I'm going to do a knit, I cast on a knit 3 purl 1 cuff. And I'm going to do that for 3 inches. And if my calculations are right, I will then be able to do 9 stripes on the leg. And then I'll have 12 left for his foot. So I'm hoping that was good math. But he likes to have really long socks. His are usually like 8-inch leg. So that's why I have to make the cuffs so long, because I won't quite have enough. So I cast that on this morning, or maybe, yeah, I think this morning I cast that on. And then the other thing I cast on a little bit ago, which I didn't share with you because I didn't know if I was going to keep it. I haven't even made a project page for it. But I cast on another pair of fingerless mittens for my son, Elliot, who has asked for a pair for every day of the week. And this is the crazy color that I picked. It is gray with these like neon pops every once in a while. And I didn't share it with you before because I wasn't 100% certain he was going to like it. But here's what it looks like. I knit up enough for him to kind of have a little vibe. So it's mostly gray, but then you're getting these really neon-y pops of color every once in a while. So I showed it to him last night, and he said he indeed liked it. He said they were fun. And so those will go back into my rotation of things, maybe like a 10 or 15-minute knit a day kind of thing. I don't have any deadline on it for him. I just, want to give him another pair. And I have to look. I don't know what I did with the So my room here is a mess. It doesn't look totally messy as you're looking at it right now, but you cannot see my desk, which is a hot mess sandwich. And somewhere on my desk is the ball band for that. And I will find it and I'll put it in my project page that I create. All right, so those are the two things I've worked on. And I did work on my reading shawl a little bit last night, but not enough that I want to show you anything new. I got really sleepy and I was, the progesterone that I'm taking now, one of the side effects is that it can make you kind of sleepy, especially if you're taking a little bit higher dose. But so when I take my one right before bed, I'm tired already from the day, and then I don't know, I just get tired earlier. So I ended up reading my Christmas book, which I'm not too far in yet, and I haven't decided if I really like it or not. I don't dislike it, but I will share that with you next time once I get a little bit farther. So let's take a look at day 23. Day 23, the quotation is, "The reindeer will know what to do." And this is a quote from the very beginning when the little note in the Santa that falls off the roof, it says, "Put on the suit and the reindeer will know what to do." So here is the color. I will see if I can get some better images of this, but it is a brown and reddish pink kind of color. Okay, that is all I have here for you. I am going to get a groove on and clean up this room, because the only other thing I have to do besides clean this room, our bedroom, and the hallway upstairs. My husband did the stairs and the downstairs, and my kids did the bathrooms. So once I do this cleaning, then I have to wrap some presents that I haven't finished wrapping yet and make some cookies. Otherwise, that's it. So I'm going to get this done and stop procrastinating, and I will check in with you a little bit later. See you guys. Well, hello again. I'm back. I don't normally check in this much, but I was, I finished most of my cleaning in this room. However, I still have a pile. Let's see if you can see my pile. Oh, making you dizzy here. There's my big pile that I still need to deal with. It's a bunch of projects that I'm still working on, and you know how when you finish projects, you just sort of leave all the stuff in the bag. I have some of those. I've put my needles away. I have a stack here on the desk of some needles that need to be filed. So I have those sorts of things to do, but and I haven't vacuumed the master bedroom yet. But in my defense, I did do all the wrapping. I did finish that after I made the beds in here. I thought, oh, that's a perfect place for me to set up and finish the wrapping while it was still daylight. So I did do that. Granted, I did not have a ton of wrapping to do. We were pretty simple this year with our kids. We have changed from, they're older now, so we've changed from like getting them stuff to doing experiences together. So this year we're having a full family fun day, and I just needed to kind of make a little something I could wrap that explains what we're doing. But we are going to go to an escape room in the morning. We're going to go out for lunch. We're going to go bowling or to a movie they get to pick in the after lunch, and then we're going to go out for ice cream. So we're just going to have one big day of lots of fun adventures together. That's kind of like their main gift. And then they each got a knitted item and some cash to spend as they wish. So that didn't involve too much wrapping. And then I had a few presents left to wrap for my in-laws. But I got it all done, which feels really good because it was one of those things that didn't take very long, but I was kind of procrastinating too. So I got that done. So I don't think this last little bit is going to take me very long. But the reason I wanted to come back to you, can you guys see the sunset back here? That's kind of a cool setting here. Let me see if I turn you a little bit more, if you can see more of it. What was I going to say? Oh, I decided to come back and kind of finish off this video because I realized that tomorrow's Christmas Eve and I don't really want to edit and upload Christmas Eve or Christmas Day because we'll be doing stuff, but I will take video. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this video. It might be a little shorter, and then I'll upload it tomorrow, and then we'll do the last video the day after Christmas of the stuff we did Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So what I have left to do yet today is to finish my cleaning. My husband is on dinner duty tonight, which I always love. He is sort of the stir fry king in our house. So we're having stir fry with, I don't know what kind of sauce he'll use today. There's a brand, I forget what it is, a brand of gluten-free sauces that we really like. And so they have like orange sauce and teriyaki and just plain soy sauce. There's like Mongolian, there's a whole bunch of them. So he kind of picks what he does, but he basically just does a lot of vegetables and tofu. And then we have that over rice, which is a favorite in the house. So he is going to be in charge of that tonight, which is great because then I don't have to worry about dinner. I can finish doing what I'm doing up here. So I'm going to do this stuff up here. And then I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do cookies. The kids gave me kind of a big list of cookies they wanted to make. Traditionally on Christmas Eve, my husband does sugar cookies with the kids. And we have this, what we call a cookie feast on Christmas Eve after dinner, after a service, if we go to a church service. But it started a long time ago. The history of the cookie feast was when I had my second son. My first child was, how old was Lucas? He was 20 months old when he was born, and Ian was born at Thanksgiving time. So my husband had saved up enough of his vacation plus his 2-week paternity leave that he could be home most of the time between Thanksgiving and the end of the year while we had a new baby. And so we made all these cookies, but we had a not quite 2-year-old, and we didn't want him to be sugared up all the time. So we told him, okay, we're gonna wait. You can have a couple, but then we're gonna save them or we're gonna freeze them. And on Christmas Eve, you can eat as many cookies as your stomach can hold. And that became known as the cookie feast. And just ever since then, we've had a cookie feast. It's sort of tradition. I think secretly it is my in-laws' favorite part of our Christmas celebration. So we just have lots of different cookies and candies, and the kids are much better at listening to their stomach now than they used to be. But yeah, that's sort of our fun thing. So I want to make a few more cookies before the feast tomorrow evening, but I think I might wait and just do like all cookies candy tomorrow morning, and instead of like trying to do some tonight and tomorrow. I think that will be easier because once you kind of get started in the kitchen doing the baking thing, it just kind of goes from there. At least I find that's the case. And then I will enlist the help of my kids. My youngest really wants to make like peanut butter cups or peanut butter balls. What else is on my list? So that's on the list. We make these all from scratch. Um, my second youngest wants, I think he said he wanted peanut butter cookies, so just plain peanut butter cookies. And then my grandma has this fabulous recipe that I had growing up that was they're called they're poppy seed cookies, but it's basically like a shortbread with poppy seed in it, and then you put chocolate chips on top and they melt and you kind of spread them. So I know for sure I'm going to make those 3 tomorrow, and Dean, my husband, will be making the sugar cookies, and I kind of want to make gingerbread cookies. So I think, boy, that's a lot as I ramble this all out to you. I think I'm just going to do a baking extravaganza tomorrow, and then I can sort of chill tonight instead of splitting it up. I think it will be, if I get going tonight, I think I will take too much time in the kitchen and not rest. And today is the first time in forever that I haven't actually taken a nap or felt like I really needed a nap, which is really funny because I did not sleep super great last night. But I have been sleeping really soundly for like 5 hours, and then I wake up for that big chunk in the middle, and then I sleep for a couple more hours. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I didn't take a nap today. So that is the plan. And I would really love to skein up this. This is the color I decided to do for my new mittens design. It's called Fairy Garden. And it's just a very pale green. And then I have it's showing more yellow. I have some pale green mohair that I'm going to hold with it. So I'd love to get that going and kind of start up a swatch for that. I did get the cuff done on my husband's striped socks, the 21 striped socks that I'm doing with the leftovers from my 24 striped skein. And I decided to do like a 2.5-inch cuff instead of the full 3-inch because I thought it was looking plenty long, and his socks can be 7.5 inches instead of 8. He can just deal with it. I think he'll be fine. I don't even know if he'll notice. So I did that when I was taking a little break for a snack. And then I had a really fun mail delivery today. I don't know if any of you like tea, but I really like tea. And my favorite place to get tea from it's a loose leaf tea. It's from Plum Deluxe. And this is one of my absolutely favorite. It's called Cuddle Time. And it has chamomile, rooibos, peppermint leaves, and then it says natural flavor. But it is my all-time favorite. It's perfect when my stomach is upset or like before bed. I got that one. Actually, I got a couple of these because they're my favorite. And you know, when you order, I tend to order a whole bunch at once, so then I don't have to pay the shipping. Then this was a new one they had that I thought sounded pretty good. It's called Calm Chamomile Bloom. Green rooibos, chamomile, rose, lavender, lemongrass, and lemon balm. Got that one. And then this one I just love in general. I like their self-care blend too. It's like elderberries and apricots. That one's my second favorite, I'd say. But then sometimes I just get the straight up dried elderberries to put in a little extra to kind of give a little immune boost. Elderberries are very good for your immune system. We do grow elderberries on our farm. And at one point I did dry them, but what I do with them now is I do make elderberry jelly sometimes, but what I prefer to do with them is to make the juice through our juicer steamer, and then I will use that juice to make an elderberry syrup. And then I turn the elderberry syrup, which you can just drink that like a tablespoon a day for immune support in the winter. But what I do is I turn the syrup, I add some agar to it. I have a recipe and a little bit of honey, and it turns into elderberry gummies. And then we take like 3 or 4 of them a day in the winter months, just sort of like a vitamin. And sometimes, you know, they don't, because they don't have preservatives in, they don't last super long. So I just put them in the freezer and we just eat them frozen. They're good that way. But my kids sometimes will eat them if they remember. But the tea is also really good. Okay, I've been rambling for long enough now, but I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to wish you a very Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because I will not see you again until the day after. And I hope you have a joyous time wherever you are and that you are able to find some joy and some comfort and not too much stress or, I don't know. Christmas sometimes can be hard, so I hope you're feeling comfort and not sadness. All right, everybody. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Good night.